Hi everyone, this is InDesign 1, Week 5, and Webcast 2. And tonight's webcast is going to be on workflow. Sorry about that, I keep hearing a buzzing and I'm hoping that's not going across the sound here. As you are now creating InDesign projects, you're going to need to know what your options are for either taking that project and moving it to another computer, having someone evaluate and make comments on a particular project. So I want to take this time to talk about various workflow options that we have as InDesign users. There are basically two main workflows. One is packaging an InDesign file, and the other is converting it to a portable document format, or as most people know it, PDF. There is another workflow which we're not going to go into, but this workflow is involved with InCopy, which is a sister program to InDesign that allows multiple editors to edit an InDesign file without owning InDesign. My clients who are using this are usually people who are in either a magazine, a college campus where they have a catalog, or a schedule that needs to be edited by anywhere from 3 to 15 people. And they don't want the InDesign graphic designer having to do all of those edits, which is a waste of their time when the people who are editing it who know and they're more familiar with that content. So just so you know that that is out there, but we're going to focus basically in this webcast and in this course with just these two main workflows. Let's talk about the InDesign package workflow first. This is where you are working on a project and you either have to go to another computer, or you need to give it to someone who is going to have to make further modifications in InDesign. Sorry about these hesitations, you guys. Something is, again, buzzing in my ear, and I'm trying to change some of the sound controls to see if I can get rid of that, because I just really hope this isn't coming across in the webcast. And let me show you an example of a packaged InDesign file. We're going to have a separate webcast on packaging an InDesign file, but basically you're going to go to the File menu and choose this command package. And what it creates is the name of your file, and then it says File Folder. And inside is a copy of the file that you packaged, an instruction file that's in text only. We'll have more details on this when we talk about packaging a file. All of the images that were used in that file, and all of the fonts that were used in that file. These are not the original fonts. This is a copy of the fonts. And what this allows you to do now is take this folder, put it on a USB drive, upload it to Dropbox, upload it to a server, and now you go to a different location. You have everything you need to work on that file. So this is really just for those occasions where you need to work on it on another computer. You need to archive everything that went into that project. I call it my cleaning house tool, and what I mean by that, as I've mentioned in a previous webcast, is that over a project's life, sometimes I will import, let's say, 50 pictures. 20 of those pictures were replaced by another 20 pictures. 10 of them people decided they didn't want. So now I have a folder full of, I don't know, 75 pictures, and really I only want 40 of those pictures. And I don't want to have to go through those images in a links folder one by one and go, okay, no wait, did we use this one? Yes, I'm going to keep that. Did we use this one? No, I'm going to delete that. The package process does the cleanup for you. And I'll say more about this when we get into the packaging process. Method 2 is a process using a PDF. And we use the PDF process in several different ways. I'm showing you this image. We're going to go back to this at the end of all of this discussion. I'm going to bring this back later. But this is kind of an outline of your workflow options. And we have already discussed printing a file. You have InDesign installed on your computer. You have your fonts. You have your graphics on your hard drive. And of course, we have whatever text you brought in, whatever photos you brought in. Here's your InDesign file. But now I need to move this project to another location, and that's where File Package comes in. The two options at the bottom, which we're going to talk about in much more detail in further webcasts, are the PDF options. This is where you need to send a picture, essentially, of your file to clients or someone who needs to see it in the finished state. They don't necessarily have InDesign. They don't want to have InDesign. They don't have the font on their system to be able to view this. They don't have the images. And they probably don't want to deal with the size of a folder containing all of that. They just want to either make comments to it, they want to print it, one option or the other, but it's not them actually making changes to that file. A PDF is a universal and cross-platform file format. Over 95% of all computers have either the free Adobe Reader installed on them, or the reader is installed in their browser. And they don't even think about it. They just click on a PDF on a website and it opens up in their browser. And it's a limited set of features, but it gets the job done. They can go through it. They can often make comments to it. And starting with Acrobat 11, the commenting is built into reader files, into PDF files, even if you only have Reader. It used to be a different situation, which I won't go into, but this has been slightly changed now with Acrobat 11 Reader. And Reader is free. So anyone can download the Reader if they'd like to view PDF files using Adobe's version of a PDF reader. And of course, other companies are creating PDF readers as well. So you've got Preview on the Mac, which can read PDF files. It has slightly different functionality, but it gets the job done. So that's really kind of this step here. The step below that is where we need to produce a different type of PDF that has far more quality built into it. It's going to be a much bigger file. And this is the one that a print shop, a professional print shop, would use to make those high quality copies that we are used to seeing without using the InDesign files. And more printers don't want your InDesign files, or if they do, they only use it as a backup. Instead, what they're using is just the PDF to make the printout. So I take a look at my PDF file, and I can now go in and comment on that particular file. So I have a commenting tool, and if you have just Reader, you're going to probably see the commenting bar go across the top if it's Acrobat 11. If it's something less than that, the person who created the PDF is going to have to give you permission to use those commenting tools. But basically, I can go in here and annotate, mark it up. I can participate in a shared review where everyone can get their feedback back to the originator of this InDesign file, which will be you. All right, advantages of a PDF file. I'd just like to include this in the same webcast. The viewer of the PDF, as I've already mentioned, is meant to just have a limited amount of access to that file for reviewing, approving, printing. You can give all kinds of extra permissions and security to prevent someone from making changes to it. The person on the receiving end does not need InDesign or the fonts or the graphics, as I've mentioned. And the fact that PDF files are supported across most web browsers, email programs, and the free reader, this makes it an even more accessible way to look and review a document. The other thing about this is that PDFs are cross-platform, across Macintosh, PC, Linux, so you don't have to create different types of PDF files for everyone to be able to view that PDF on their operating system, which is another wonderful thing about the PDF format. PDFs, unlike an EPUB type format, maintain the complete look and feel of the fonts, the graphics, and the layout, as long as you create that PDF file the correct way. Just wanted to check my, just for a moment here to make sure that teleconference was still there. I was a little concerned. I was hearing it clicking and I just wanted to be absolutely sure that we didn't lose it. So a PDF is an alternative to the package method for sending it out to anybody who doesn't need to edit it. PDFs can be edited. As most of you probably know, there are tools in Acrobat that allow you to go in and change text. Now we can even change images, but it is never designed to do extensive edits. Extensive edits should be done back in the source file, the InDesign file. So the common uses for PDF files are to upload them to a web. For example, I have several government clients that have to upload for the general public copies of county budgets. Colleges have to upload PDF versions of catalogs and class listings, that type of thing. And you can create a low quality, smallest file size, as you guys all know, because that's what you're supposed to be saving your labs in right now. You can upload those to a website and they're able to open or be able to be downloaded very quickly. On the other hand, a PDF, instead of being a very compact file, can be a huge file that contains all of the information a professional printing company needs to create that. And when we get into creating a PDF, especially a high quality PDF, we'll talk more about the different things that a service bureau or print shop will need, which will dictate the color separation, trapping, imposition, all of the things that are involved with a very high quality print job. All right, as I mentioned, when we get into the next couple of webcasts, first I'm going to go into a detailed step-by-step explanation of how you package an InDesign file. That will be one webcast. Another webcast will go into a detailed description of creating a PDF at a level that we have not touched upon yet. So far all we've done is gone into just the basics of how do I create a PDF, which we discussed was going to the File menu and either using the Export command or going directly to the Adobe PDF presets and choosing, for example, your homework, the smallest file size. All right. So that is it for workflows. As I mentioned before, I'm going to come back to this once we get through all of the packaging instructions and the creating a PDF instruction, and I think you'll see this image in a new light. This was done by Cindy, the previous InDesign instructor, and I really liked this particular page. I thought it was a great graphic to show the different ways and the different life cycles that an InDesign document will be created and where it will end up. Okay, until next time, signing off.